Hello, everyone. Back to A Course in Miracles and my old raggedy old book here, the old copy that I got. I have to say that all the time just because maybe someone's new to this video and maybe for those that don't know me yet. But, you know, uh, beyond the body, when we go beyond the body, and I want to talk about this chapter 18 in the text, which those of you that know me know that I just love the text. Dive into it so deeply, the text in A Course in Miracles. Of course, I dive into the whole thing, but the section 6 called Beyond the Body, and really tells us a little bit about how we can actually go about forgiving ourselves and everyone. Hey, everybody, James Nussbaumer, and I am the author of two great books. The Master of Everything, A Story of Mankind, the World of Illusion We Call Life, which is book 1, and Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom. They're at my website, and there's a link in the box here that you can click to go see them. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about there is nothing outside you that is what you must ultimately learn. For it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to you. There is nothing outside of you. And so, and that's in The Passing of the Dream, chapter 18. And what is the dream? Well, the dream is the world we live in where we can't go beyond illusion and we can't forgive one another and ourselves especially. You might be asking, when you are upset for whatever reason, even with, say, a meaningless world, it is necessary to correct a major perceptual distortion that most of us have. You believe that what upsets you is frightening, say a frightening world, or a sad world, or a violent and volatile world, or an insane world. But if you're being honest with yourself, you can acknowledge that these attributes were given to you by the world, but also you give them back to the world. They say what goes around comes around. We feed the world with projections. Around and around we go. The merry-go-round we can't get off of. And, caused by how we think of the world. And it's the same thing that I've mentioned in a few other videos. Isn't this why history keeps repeating itself and why we're trying to still find world peace and can't seem to get it yet? The thought of a meaningless world engenders fear, but meaninglessness is impossible because nothing can exist without meaning. Now, if I confused you there, bear with me. This would be an illusion. Okay, what I mean is if you believe the world is meaningless, then your fears of the world do not exist either and are another illusion brought on by illusion. Now, aren't we seeing insanity there? Yes, because you know what? It seems like gobbledygook what I just said, doesn't it? Because it doesn't make sense. And that's really what we do in the world when we project things that really aren't there, and later on we say, how could I think that didn't never even happened or whatever. That's insanity. But you know what, it may seem that you would not perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Why is this? Because it reinforces your belief that your own illusions of the past are real. But remember, you assign meaning to the past to fill a void, a blank area in your mind, your own thinking body, the brain that you carry around with you on this body, believes it is lacking and feels empty, so it works diligently to make its own ideas of the truth. This thinking of the brain is separate from God. But before you have also observed this thinking as being true, but really it's not, but therefore then you go on and you think that, the thinking is who you are. But, like we said before, on the contrary, therefore, the thinking is separate from God. So therefore, you have also observed an extension of God that you're refusing to adhere to, because you're thinking of this insanity, but in your heart what really is there, but you're not staying with it. So you're deciding to not stay with something that's extended into you. Okay, what do I mean further? Let me go on. Yes, each one of us is the extended thought of our Creator, God. And those feelings that go on inside of us about what I should do, what should I be doing with my life, and we get, someone well-intended or misinformed family members may come in and say, no, come on over here, and pat you on the shoulder. You'll be okay here. Then all of a sudden you're living their illusion, their dream. And then you think, well, yeah, that's right. I should just forget about that. That's too far of a stretch for me. And, but yes, so when we do that, what we're doing is we're trying to sever the extension of who we really are. But, I'm not saying that we should go out and take risky, things that are going to harm our lives in this world. No, not at all. But my point is, all too often, many of us decide to just not go after what it is we really want. And what we're doing when we do that is we're just stopping the extension of God through us. We're stopping it right there. So my point is, as you recognize the meaningless and the false as being merely what they are, just like I just tried to explain here, if you can recognize the meaningless and the false as being merely what they are, your confused and empty body becomes doubtful, fearful, and guilty, because it senses a separation from its source. In other words, when you stop that extension, don't you? You know when you stop the extension from your source. You really do, down to your heart. When you know you're not doing what you should be doing, that means you've stopped the extension from your source, from God. But so once again, anything that separates from its source naturally experiences panic, doesn't it? Sure it does. When our loved one suddenly dies or leaves us, we experience loss and pain and fear due to the separation. For now, there is no reason for you to be confused, or no reason for your confused self to try to understand everything that I'm trying to talk about right now. But there is every reason for you to just let go or surrender and make room for what you do understand. So in other words, if there's things you don't understand, let go of it. Get it out of here. Be done with it, and usher in what you want to understand. Look at it this way. The sun, known as the source and the center of the physical solar system up here, up in the sky, the sun, it's always there, right? It extends itself with its rays, though it can often be obscured by cloud cover, depending on where you are positioned here on the earth. Of course, if you're, in my area, in Akron, Canton, Ohio area, we're known as the most clouded, other than Seattle area, Washington or whatever, something like that. We're like in the top 5 cloudy areas. But anyways, depending on where you're at. Now, if you're in Clearwater, Florida, my other home, the sun is always, the clouds are not as in the way. But my point is, what I'm saying is, the sun is always there, no matter how much cloud cover is in your mind, no matter how much fog is in your mind, the sun is still up there. No matter how much cloud cover there is here where I live in this Akron, Canton area, okay, versus my other home where I love dearly at Clearwater Beach, Florida. But, versus this Ohio weather, which, we love it here anyways for whatever reason. But my point is, regardless of that cloud cover, the sun is still up there above the clouds. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, but the cloud cover is just in the way. So nevertheless, the sun remains forever. As its rays continue to extend, they extend as clouds eventually will dissipate without affecting the sun or its rays, because the rays are still as strong as ever. They still are. It's just the clouds are blocking it. I hope this makes sense. Just as the rays of the sun extend regardless of cloud cover, so are you the extended thought of God. Regardless of the clouded thinking, your mind dreams up. That's how we get the passing of the dream here. To recognize reality, okay, is what I'm trying to say. To recognize reality or to know the light is to be enlightened. And the passing of the dream, I want to read one more thing before I let you go here. Minds are joined, bodies are not. Only by assigning to the mind the properties of the body does separation seem to be possible. Minds are joined, bodies are not. Only by assigning to the mind the properties of the body does separation seem to be possible. So we're only separate when we think of ourselves as a body. So to recognize reality or to know the light is to be enlightened. And Jesus, one of the many enlightened individuals to ever walk the earth, and the one whom much of humanity has been so drawn to and absorbed to, it was aware of the dreaming mind. He was aware of the passing of the dream. As a man, he had the knowledge from within and was aware of the extended thought of God, aware of those rays, the ray. He was aware of the extended thought of God as who we all are. His many messages told us simply to uncover our eyes and see the light that is already there. There's no reason to wait for some future event. It's with us now. Jesus has always expressed this message so deeply, essentially saying, but my interpretation only, you believe you are a body. However, you can choose between loveless or miraculous channels of expression. You can make yourself an empty shell, but it can only express nothing. You can destroy your body, your medium of communication, but not your potential. You did not create your body. You are who you are, not your body. I hope that makes sense. But while we're here in this world, until the dream passes us, the passing of the dream, while we're in the dream of separation, we are a body. And so we have to deal with it. But in the back of our mind, the light back there, if we can keep ourselves knowing that, hey, the light, I'm having a tough time now, but that's just the cloud cover in the way. My light is still there. I just got some cloud cover that's got to get out of the way. And if we can focus on that and think that way, your light gets stronger, the clouds dissipate, they fade away, and sooner or later, what happens? Clear blue, sunny skies, just like on Clearwater Beach, Florida. Okay, thanks for listening to me. But every now and then, I've seen some storms and cloudy skies on Clearwater Beach, Florida, too. So, it's all over this planet, or should I say, cloud cover is all over the dream of separation. But so is clear blue skies. And if we can understand it that way, doesn't it make our life a lot easier to handle when things are going against us? I think so. Hey, message me. I know this was kind of a deep conversation, but message me. Give me a message on what you think about this. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye.